My current crafting hyperfixation are these cutie little shrinky-dink bag charms and keychains, and I have to show you guys how I make them because it's truly so easy, very inexpensive, and I do think that everybody deserves a cute little charm on their bag or their camera or their keys, and it's just, oh, it's so cute. The only things you'll need for this craft are some shrinky-dink papers. For the keychain that I just showed, I used half a sheet of paper, and this entire pack, 10 sheets, $10. Inexpensive? Yes. We'll also need some coloring utensils, so I'm gonna be using acrylic markers, but you truly can use any coloring utensil besides a water-based marker. So you could do a crayon, a colored pencil, a permanent marker, an acrylic marker, anything that's not water-based. And then if you want to be a little crazy, you can make your keychain, so you'll just need some jump rings and then the little clasp, or you can just buy a keychain kit or just like a blank keychain and just add your charms onto that. Probably much easier than what I'm doing. Step number 1 of making your keychain is going to be just to get an idea of what kind of things you want to put on the keychain, and for me that means drawing them out on sheets of paper first. You can absolutely just draw right onto the shrinky dink paper, but I like to do a little bit of like pre-planning and sketch out all of my designs on pieces of paper just so I can make sure that I'm getting as much onto my shrinky dink paper as possible. So if you're the kind of person that's going to want to sketch out your designs first, what I'm going to want you to do is tape these onto your paper just so that when you're tracing over them, your design underneath isn't moving around and then moving your pen around, you know? It might take you a little extra time, but I do really recommend cutting all your stencils out and taping them as close together as possible, because I got all of the stencils for pretty much the entire keychain on half of that sheet. Like, I am using every little piece of this that I can. Now, I really love these acrylic markers. I think I have them linked in my TikTok shop, but they have a brush tip and I think it makes it so much easier to be painting the designs on. I also really love using my Posca markers, only because sometimes I feel like the colors come out a little bit more vibrant with these ones than the other ones. Once you got all of your little charms drawn out and colored on your sheet, you're just gonna go ahead and cut everything out. When I do mine, I like to leave a little bit of a border around each one. I don't like to cut it all the way to the edge of the design, but it is totally whatever you want to do. Like, either one looks fine. The only thing I will say is you want to make sure you leave spaces to punch the holes for the keychain. Now that you've got all of your little charms cut out, the last step before baking them is just to take your hole puncher and punch a hole in every single charm so that you can attach it to your keychain. Our charms are cut, punched out, they're ready to be baked. I just heated up my oven to 350, and while that's warming up, I'm just gonna prepare 2 of my baking sheets, which is what you're gonna need to shrink your little shrinky dink charms. On my first baking sheet, I'm gonna go ahead and tear off some parchment paper. When you're laying all of your shrinky dinks down, you wanna make sure that the side that you drew on is face up. That is very important. I've got all of my charms laid out on my baking sheet, and I'm gonna pop this into the oven for 1 to 3 minutes. Now, if you have an oven lamp, I want you to go ahead and turn that bad boy on, because you're gonna wanna make sure that you see when they kind of like expand a little, curl, and shrink down. That's when you want to take them out. Unfortunately for some people, we do have some ovens with broken lights, so I'm just gonna time it for like 2.5 minutes and then pull it out once I see that they've shrunk down a good amount. And the reason why we have our second baking sheet out is that once those are done, after the 2.5